Let's get you the very latest from the province now. eNCA's Siphamandla Goge is in Durban. He joins us live. Siphamandla, plenty of calls from various quarters that this needs to be sorted out by police. It needs to be investigated with an incredible amount of urgency, at least before the 2019 elections.
Not so long ago, I interviewed IFP presidential candidate or nominee, Mr. Musawenkosi Mchunu. He said if these political killings are not sorted out in KwaZulu-Natal, the upcoming 2019 general election will not be free and fair. He says it will scare people and politicians are scared in KwaZulu-Natal. That's the general consensus from all political parties here in KwaZulu-Natal. Even the ANC, by the way, has called on the government to do something urgently to halt these political killings in the province. But currently we are in Ulundi. It's a small rural village called Edlebe. That's where Dlamini will be laid to rest. But I'm going to ask our colleague Bongamkize just to give us a pen. I'll step out of the shot now. Dignitaries are arriving at this huge marquee where the funeral service will be held. We expect IFP leader Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi to arrive at any time now because he will be the main speaker on the program today. Of course, mourners are trickling in, and then we have spoken to the family as well. The family has told us that they are convinced their member was killed for political reasons. They say he was seen by some people as a stumbling block in their way to loot. So they are convinced that he was murdered because he was standing in the way of some people who wanted to loot the Zululand district municipality where he was a PR councillor.
Yeah, and that cannot be a coincidence, Siphamandla.
Indeed, it cannot be a coincidence because he was sitting in one of the most influential portfolios of planning, and the family says in the past he did raise some issues, but the level of threat now, they were not certain that it was this high, warranting him to be killed. But he did have a private bodyguard, but on the day of his murder, we are told that the protector was off duty, as was Dlamini, because he was sick down with flu, so he decided to take a day off. He didn't want to leave his home, but he ended up leaving, going to Ulundi city center. That's when he was killed, when he was going back home. And all politicians that we have interviewed here in Ulundi, they say it's not a coincidence. I've spoken to the Zululand district municipality mayor, Mr. Thulasizwe Buthelezi. He is also convinced that Dlamini was murdered for fighting corruption in that municipality. He says it's not a coincidence. However, they are all cautious. They are leaving it to the police to carry on with their investigations. At the moment, it's too early to speculate. Of course, the police say they are still investigating. No arrests have been made yet. So we'll wait to hear from the police what was the motive behind this as soon as they make arrests. But of course, in KwaZulu-Natal, it's not common. It's not really an issue for those who have killed politicians to be arrested, or should I say, we haven't seen too many arrests. Even President Cyril Ramaphosa, when he was in the province last week, he did raise that concern. He said despite the police's task team that was formed to investigate political killings in KwaZulu-Natal, there have been very few arrests, and that's a concern. He has tasked the police minister, Peggy Cele, state security minister, defense and justice minister, to come up with a strategy and do a proper diagnosis of how they plan to deal with political killings in KwaZulu-Natal, and to give the president a detailed report by the end of this week.
So Sibuyiselo Dlamini to be laid to rest today. One of the speakers there will be the leader of the IFP, and no doubt that is a call that he will echo as he speaks there today.
Of course, we understand that in his speech he will talk tough on how police need to do more to deal with political killings in KwaZulu-Natal. We understand that some leaders of other political parties, including Zwagele Mncwango of the DA in KwaZulu-Natal and NFP leaders, will be present here today as this marquee is filling up. But we expect IFP leader Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi to come out and speak out strongly against political killings in KwaZulu-Natal. He has spoken out in the past past, he has raised those concerns because these are not new issues in KwaZulu-Natal. Of course, they have taken another turn, but you would recall that in the past there were killings of NFP members, then that has dried down. It has moved now to ANC and IFP members in KwaZulu-Natal. So all political parties are affected in KwaZulu-Natal. It's not only the IFP, the ANC or the NFP. All political parties in KwaZulu-Natal are affected by these killings. They've seen their leaders or their members being killed, either coming from political party meetings. In most cases, they are killed when they are just arriving at home from those meetings, or they are just ambushed and killed. So it's just a general concern across the political spectrum in KwaZulu-Natal. And we do expect the IFP leader, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, whom we expect to arrive shortly, to touch strongly on that issue and to call for more action and prosecution of those who are killing people in the province.